YouTube, what's going on? KTmatic here, and today is the solar eclipse for me. When you see this, it will already be over. But as you might can see, it is rather cloudy, and it makes it slightly difficult to make anything cool with the eclipse. So I made this at work. It is a pinhole projector. There's a little hole, I don't know if you can see it, in the front in that foil, and there's a square hole behind it just like that, and there's a piece of paper in there. So whenever you hold it up just right, can't even find the sun anymore. It's behind a bunch of clouds. But this is my view of the solar eclipse today. It should be reaching its maximum in about 13 minutes, 14 minutes. So, kind of bummed about it. But my wife got me this camera strap a while back for Father's Day, and it's pretty awesome. Handmade. Has actually, I want to put her out there a little bit. My photography business is KST photography. Now, eventually it'll probably go to KST Productions or something like that, because I want to do video stuff too. Now, when she ordered it, she accidentally put KTS, so that's what we got. And it doesn't even bother me, because it was an awesome idea, really thoughtful, and I love it. Even though there's a typo on it, I don't care. My wife got it for me, and it's amazing. So that's how everybody should be in life. Little mistakes don't really matter. It's not branding for my photography business. It's just from her to me, just so that I can have something that she gave me. Let's see, the sun's kind of coming out a little bit. Let's see if this stupid box will work. Okay, so this is really complicated. Where did you go? There it is. So if you look in there, see that little light, the top one, not the bottom one? That is what the sun is actually doing right now. I know it's a really small picture, but it's starting to go away because the clouds are coming back. So yeah, that's kind of a letdown. I was excited. I like eclipses. I don't really have a long enough lens on my camera to make anything like really cool. But it's kind of bright right now, so I don't want to expose my sensor to it because I don't have a filter. With the clouds, I'm not as worried about it because I'm shooting at like almost 1/2000th of a second, so it doesn't worry me too much, although it kind of makes me slightly nervous because that's my camera and I don't want to mess it up. But we'll see what happens. The clouds are still all over the place. We'll see if we can get it with this camera. It's still a little bright. I don't want to mess up this camera either, because this is the one I use for vlogging all the time. And yeah, it's a camcorder. with the little flip out screen because I don't have enough money to go buy the DSLR that I want or could use. Planning on getting an 80D unless something crazy happens and I get enough money to get like a 1DX or a 5D or something. But I wish Canon would make cameras that shot in 4K. Like, why is it so hard? They have video cameras that do it. But I digress. Hopefully, in the future, an 80D will be what I film on and shoot stills on. And there's a hole in the cloud. No, you shouldn't be looking at a solar eclipse without the Eclipse glasses and something like that. Welder's glass, like 14 and above. You can use solar filters on your cameras and stuff like that. I didn't get any of that. I have a welding helmet, whatever you want to call it. But it's electronic, so the sun isn't bright enough. I don't know how exactly it works, but it's not the same intensity as welding, so it doesn't trigger it to get darker. So yes, it helps a little bit, but not a lot. My backyard is a jungle right now. We've had rain so much lately. Let's see what time it is. 12:49. It's actually getting pretty close. Oh, and I know this is going to come out after it happens, but in the future, if you want to take pictures of solar eclipse, don't look through an optical viewfinder, because basically it's just a magnified image of the sun, and that would be bad for your eyeballs. Probably worse than just looking at the sun like normal. So, hanging out. I kind of want the clouds to cover it back up so I can take a picture, just have a picture, just say I took a picture. I watched another solar eclipse a few years ago. I don't know exactly when it was, and it was really cool. I got to actually see like the diamond ring and everything that they talk about. So this one's not like super special for me because it's not 100% eclipsing over us. It's just cool to see how things that many miles apart, like millions of miles, can line up perfectly, and something as small as the moon compared to the sun can actually create a shadow on the earth, and everybody can see it. So it's really cool. We'll have another Texas will have a full solar eclipse in I think 7 years or something like that. So this one's not anything really super special. It's just kind of cool. It's getting pretty close now. Hold on, let's see if we can do this. Live view. Hold on. Oh, it moved. Why did I not think the sun would move? Okay, we got one. Let's see. 51. I'm using live view, so that means my sensor is in the open. Here, let's see if you can see this. Stop focusing. That's my view of the sun, clouds and all. So, not great. Not super interesting. But still cool nonetheless. Always liked astronomy stuff. Every time I walk over here I get really nervous because there's a big puddle of water. Where is it? Right there. So my dog's dug a hole and then it rained. It's been raining for like 2 weeks almost, I think. So super annoying. It's not really getting as dark as I thought it would. Maybe it will in the next few minutes, but it's only going to last a few seconds, I think. So I'm trying to watch the clock and see. It's not super exciting, as you can tell, but we're just hanging out. There you can see the clouds. See if the sun, I can't see my screen. No, not really. What I don't really understand, well, I kind of understand it, is like if you take a backlit shot with the sun in the background, and even with a flash or something so that your subject's properly exposed, nobody says anything about it damaging your camera. But taking pictures of the sun during an eclipse apparently is really bad. Now, I know one thing that makes it bad is a lot of people use really strong telephoto lenses, like up to like 2000. Oh, almost fell over. And stuff like that. So that probably has a lot to do with it, because it's a lot stronger focus light than what you would use with like a 70 to 200 or a 50 millimeter or something like that. It's really focused. It'd be like using a magnifying glass and burning things, and it could actually burn your sensor and melt your camera, which I'm slightly worried about, but obviously not too worried to not do it. I feel like, yeah, it'll probably make my sensor a little bit hot, but I don't feel like it's enough time to let it actually do damage. Man, it got brighter. It's supposed to be getting darker. What time is it? 54. 12:57 local time. In like 7 seconds or something like that is what they estimated the time of our maximum eclipse should be. So we'll see. It's in a hole right now, kind of bright. And again, don't look at the sun. It's no good for you. It's starting to get darker, I think, but I think that might just be a cloud. I need to quit looking at the sun, probably. It's getting there. It's almost there. And then I'll be done, and then I can go eat, and then go back to work, because it's lunchtime. It actually happened at a pretty good time. I've got a meeting after 2 sometime. Don't know exactly when it's supposed to show up. So this one I kind of cheated and used my fingers as kind of a pinhole. It kind of worked. It's a little blurry, but it's just one of those things. Now, to make sure my camera still works. Okay, good news. Still works. And it's the sun. But it's pretty much over. Now it's going to go the other way and come away from totality. So, well, not totality. It didn't get total eclipse here. But I've got a few minutes left to eat, so I'm going to go do that. I'll see y'all next time. I hope everybody else enjoyed the solar eclipse. I hope they did it safely. So, see everybody next time. I'm out.